chosen one. You did not arrive here by accident, and this moment was not summoned by curiosity or chance. Heaven itself aligned your steps to this exact second. The same God who orders seasons and times has drawn you here because something hidden is about to be revealed. You are standing at the edge of a divine shift, a supernatural transfer where what was buried begins to rise. Scripture says that wealth and honor come from the Lord, and right now that promise is stirring in your spirit. Anointed one, prepare your heart. What you are about to hear will awaken vision, activate faith, and unlock what has been waiting for you all along. Chosen one. Before we go any further, let me say this clearly. What you are hearing right now is not casual information. These words are not entertainment. They are alignment. If you feel a pull to stay to listen deeper, it's because heaven is already leaning toward you. And I say this from experience. Every time God prepared to shift my life, He first slowed me down long enough to hear what I had been overlooking. This is one of those moments for you. Let us begin with the first place your wealth has been hidden, because this one carries more power than most people are willing to face. Chosen one. Your painful past was never a mistake. I know the memories you still avoid, the betrayal that changed how you trust, the season where everything fell apart and no one came to rescue you. I've been there too, asking God why obedience still led to loss, why faith didn't shield me from heartbreak. But what I didn't understand then is what I see clearly now. Pain is often the wrapping paper around purpose. Your past is not just a collection of wounds, it is a vault. And inside that vault is wisdom that cannot be taught in classrooms or downloaded from books. The things you survived trained you in ways comfort never could. You learned discernment because you were deceived. You learned resilience because you were abandoned. You learned how to hear God in the dark because the noise disappeared. None of that was wasted. Scripture says that what the enemy meant for harm, God turns for good, and not in theory but in practice. The very experiences you wish you could erase are the same experiences that qualified you. Chosen one, you weren't being punished. You were being initiated. There is wealth in the story you've been minimizing. I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about authority, influence, credibility that comes from having lived through what others are still praying to survive. When you speak, people listen, not because you sound impressive, but because your words carry weight. That weight came from fire. I remember the first time I realized this in my own life. I was sharing something I had once been ashamed of, almost apologetically, when someone stopped me and said, "That's exactly what I needed to hear." In that moment, I understood something. Healing turns wounds into wells, and other people draw from them. Chosen one. Your wealth is hidden in that journey, in the lessons you learned the hard way, in the resilience etched into your spirit, in the compassion you now carry because you know what suffering feels like. The question is not whether your past has value. The question is whether you are willing to honor it. There is a message in your scars. There is a method in your survival. There is a system in what you overcame. Some of you are sitting on books you haven't written, teachings you haven't shared, frameworks you haven't built, not because you lack ability, but because you still see your past as something to hide instead of something to steward. Chosen one, hear this gently but firmly. You were not hurt just to be hurt. You were hurt to become someone who can lead with depth, serve with wisdom, and build with integrity. The wound was never just pain, it was purpose wearing a disguise. Heal it, honor it, then harvest it. Because right now, somewhere someone is asking God for the very wisdom you earned through tears, and heaven is preparing to connect your story to their breakthrough. This is only the first place your wealth has been hidden. And as we move forward, you're going to start seeing your life differently, not with regret, but with revelation. Stay with me. The next place may surprise you even more. Chosen one. Let us move deeper now, because the second place your wealth has been hidden is one most people misunderstand and resent while they're inside it. Your isolation. That season when the phone stopped ringing, when invitations dried up, when you wondered how you could be surrounded by people and still feel completely alone. I remember nights when silence felt louder than noise, when I questioned whether I had done something wrong to deserve the distance. But what I later learned changed everything. That isolation was not rejection. It was protection. Heaven was removing distractions so you could finally hear clearly. When everyone left, it wasn't because you were forgotten. It was because God was narrowing your environment. The noise had to go. The opinions had to fade. The emotional dependencies had to be broken. In that quiet, your spirit began to wake up. You started noticing patterns you once ignored. You felt things before they happened. You sensed when something was off without needing proof. That was not loneliness. That was activation. Chosen one. Solitude sharpens discernment. When you were alone, you weren't losing people, you were gaining clarity. You began to recognize which connections drained you and which aligned with you. You learned how to sit with your thoughts instead of running from them. You learned how to hear God without needing constant confirmation from others. That kind of inner authority is priceless, and it only forms in quiet places. This is why so many people avoid stillness. It reveals too much. But you stayed. There is wealth in what you discovered during those silent seasons. The insights you gained, the habits you unlearned, the emotional maturity you developed. You may not have called it wisdom at the time, but that is exactly what it was. Wisdom that came from observation, not instruction. Wisdom that came from survival, not theory. And people who are still drowning in noise need exactly what you learned in the quiet. Chosen one. Your isolation was research. God was showing you how you are designed, how your mind processes, how your spirit receives. That information is not random, it is foundational. There is a structure there that can be shared, taught, built upon. Whether it becomes guidance, mentorship, creative work, or leadership, it carries value because it is real. Do not dismiss what you learned alone. Many people will never access that level of insight because they never stop long enough to listen. Now, hear this clearly, because the third place your wealth has been hidden is closer than you think. It is in the people you keep overlooking, not the powerful ones, not the impressive ones, but the ordinary, unexpected, sometimes uncomfortable connections you dismiss too quickly. I have learned sometimes painfully that God rarely sends help in the packaging we request. He sends it in the packaging that will test our humility. The conversation you almost ignored. The person you mentally categorized as irrelevant. The one who didn't look successful enough, spiritual enough, or important enough to matter. Many times those are the exact people assigned to unlock something in you. Divine connections are subtle. They do not announce themselves, they blend in, and pride is often the only thing that keeps us from seeing them. Chosen one, wealth flows through alignment, not appearance. The insight that shifts your thinking may come from someone you never expected to learn from. The opportunity that changes your trajectory may come through a relationship you didn't value enough at first. God often hides keys in humble hands, not to confuse you, but to refine you, to teach you how to see with discernment instead of ego. When you begin to see people spiritually instead of socially, everything changes. You stop ranking humans by status and start recognizing assignments. You become attentive. You listen differently. You notice who consistently speaks truth, who brings peace, who challenges you to grow instead of just making you comfortable. Those people are not accidents. They are bridges. And finally, chosen. 1. Understand this. The fourth place your wealth has been hidden is in the skill you treat as normal, the thing that comes so naturally to you that you assume it must be common. But ease is not evidence of insignificance, it is evidence of design. What you do without effort is often what others struggle to learn for years. You calm chaos. You see connections others miss. You explain complex things simply. You organize, speak, write, create, or guide with clarity. Because it feels natural, you minimized it. But that is exactly why it matters. God did not give you that ability for decoration. He gave it for function. The world is in disorder, and you carry order. Chosen one, stop waiting for permission to value what God already validated. Stop looking for applause before obedience. When you honor your gift, it stops feeling heavy and starts feeling purposeful. Wealth follows stewardship. Not greed, not striving, but honoring what was entrusted to you. Sit with this. Let it settle. Because once you see these places clearly, you can never unsee them. And awareness is the first doorway to transfer. Chosen one. Let us go deeper, because the next place your wealth has been hidden is uncomfortable to face, yet impossible to bypass. It is hidden in the thing you have been avoiding. You already know what it is. The idea that keeps returning. The action you delay. The step that makes your chest tighten every time you think about it. I've learned in my own life that God rarely hides breakthroughs in places that feel safe. He hides them behind obedience. There was a season when I kept preparing instead of moving, reading, planning, refining, convincing myself I needed just a little more clarity. But deep down, I knew the truth. I wasn't waiting for readiness. I was waiting for fear to leave. And fear never leaves on its own. It only loosens its grip when you move anyway. That is when I understood this principle. Avoidance is often confirmation that you are standing at the edge of something holy. Chosen one, the enemy does not guard empty rooms. If resistance rises, it is because value is present. That hesitation you feel is not a warning to stop. It is an invitation to trust. Your wealth is not hidden in comfort. It is hidden in courage. Every breakthrough I have witnessed, including my own, required a moment where logic had to bow to obedience, where comfort had to step aside so calling could move forward. You keep thinking you need a sign, but hear this clearly: you are the sign. The moment you move, heaven responds. Faith is not passive waiting, it is active alignment. And alignment requires action, even when your hands are shaking, especially when your hands are shaking. Now let us move to another place your wealth has been hidden, one that many people overlook because it feels too far back to matter. Your childhood interests. Before life hardened you, before survival became louder than joy, before responsibility muted wonder. Who were you before fear entered the room? That version of you was not naive. That version was prophetic. I remember the things I loved before I learned to be practical. The curiosity, the creativity, the sense of possibility. I buried those parts because they didn't seem useful. But years later, I realized something profound. What brought you joy early often points to what will bring you purpose later. Those interests were not distractions. They were blueprints. Chosen one. The passions you abandoned did not die. They went dormant, waiting for you to return with maturity, wisdom, and discipline. God never asked you to abandon joy. He asked you to steward it. When you reconnect with what once made you feel alive, something unlocks. Ideas flow, energy returns, direction sharpens. Purpose feels familiar again, like coming home. Your wealth is buried under the version of yourself you had to become just to survive. And survival was necessary, but it was never meant to be permanent. Now it is time to thrive, to reclaim what was set aside, to bring adult wisdom to childlike vision. That combination is powerful. And now, chosen one, hear this carefully, because the next place your wealth has been hidden is not behind you, but within you as you evolve. The person you are becoming. You are not who you were last year. You're not even who you were last month. And yet, you keep trying to fit into spaces designed for your former self. That is why discomfort keeps rising. That is why certain environments no longer resonate. Growth requires release. Every time you evolve, something must be left behind. Old habits, old relationships, old identities. This is not arrogance. This is alignment. I have had to let go of versions of myself that felt familiar but no longer felt true. And each time it was uncomfortable. But each time expansion followed. Chosen one, wealth follows authenticity. When you stop shrinking, life responds. When you stop explaining your evolution, favor increases. The universe mirrors clarity. The more fully you step into who you are becoming, the more opportunities align with that version of you. Dress like them, speak like them, move like them. Not out of performance, but out of acceptance. You are not changing, you are becoming. And every time you honor that becoming, you unlock another layer of abundance. Not just financial, but spiritual, emotional, and relational. This is how transfer happens. Not suddenly, but decisively. Let this settle into your spirit. Because awareness creates responsibility, and responsibility activates movement. Chosen one. There is another place your wealth has been quietly hidden, and this one often feels uncomfortable because it forces you to confront how you value yourself. It is hidden in the things you have been giving away for free. Not because you were foolish, but because you were kind. You solved problems without charging. You listened without limits. You poured wisdom, time, and energy into others because it felt right, because service was natural to you. I did the same, believing humility meant never asking for anything in return. But hear this gently and clearly: generosity without boundaries eventually becomes self-betrayal. There came a moment in my own journey when I realized I was exhausted, not because I lacked purpose, but because I lacked structure. People were growing, succeeding, and prospering from what I gave while I remained drained. That was not holiness. That was misalignment. God never anointed you to be consumed. He anointed you to build. Chosen one. Your time is sacred. Your insight came at a cost. Your wisdom was paid for through experience, pain, discipline, and prayer. When you give it away endlessly, you teach others to treat divine gifts as common. And what is treated as common is never protected. There is wealth hidden in honoring your worth, not just financially, but energetically and spiritually. When you begin to say no, when you begin to place value where value belongs, the spiritual atmosphere shifts. This is not about greed, it is about stewardship. Even Scripture speaks of the worker being worthy of their reward, not as a demand, but as order. When you raise the standard of how you are treated, life responds. Opportunities become cleaner. Relationships become healthier. Energy returns. You stop bleeding and start building. That is when overflow becomes possible. Now let us move to the final place your wealth has been hidden, and this one is the most resisted by the modern world. Stillness, silence, the space you keep distracting yourself from. You stay busy because stopping feels uncomfortable. Scrolling noise, constant motion. But ask yourself honestly, chosen one, what are you avoiding hearing? Because stillness does not create fear, it reveals it. I learned this during a season when productivity became my shield. As long as I was doing something, I didn't have to feel what was unresolved. But God does not speak through chaos. He whispers in quiet. The strategy you are asking for, the clarity you are praying for, the direction you need for your next season, it is already trying to reach you. But distraction jams the signal. Chosen one. Wealth does not always come through action. Sometimes it comes through alignment, and alignment requires listening. When you sit, when you breathe, when you stop performing and start receiving, something shifts. Insight arrives. Peace settles. The blueprint emerges. This is why silence feels threatening at first. It dismantles illusions. But once you stay long enough, it becomes sacred. Turn off the noise. Sit with yourself. Pray without rushing. Listen without agenda. Not with your ears alone, but with your spirit. You will begin to remember who you are beneath the roles, the pressure and the expectations. And in that remembering, direction becomes clear. Stillness is not empty. It is full of instruction. Chosen one, understand this now. You are not lacking. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. Your wealth was never outside of you. It was hidden in plain sight, waiting for awareness. In your past, in your solitude, in your gifts, in your courage, in your evolution, in your boundaries, in your silence. Heaven hid it there on purpose, knowing the right time would come. Now you see, and seeing creates responsibility. What you do next matters. Dig where you once dismissed. Honor what you once minimized. Steward what you once gave away carelessly, because this is not the end of the message. This is the beginning of your movement. Chosen one. Now that your eyes are open, there is a responsibility that comes with what you see. Revelation is never given just to inform you. It is given to reposition you. When God reveals where your wealth has been hidden, He is also inviting you to change how you move, how you decide, and how you steward what has been placed in your hands. This is the moment where awareness must turn into alignment. Many people receive insight, but never experience transfer because they hesitate at this point. They admire the truth, agree with it, even feel stirred by it, but they return to old patterns. I say this with love because I have done it myself. I once recognized where my growth was coming from, yet still delayed honoring it fully. And delay, even when unintentional, is still resistance. Wealth responds to movement, not intention alone. Chosen. One stewardship is the bridge between revelation and reward. What you do with what you now know determines what comes next. When God entrusts you with awareness, He watches how you respond. Do you honor it, or do you minimize it again? Do you protect it, or do you allow old habits to drain it? This is where maturity matters. I learned that every increase in my life followed a decision to treat something sacredly that I once treated casually. My time, my voice, my focus, my energy. The moment I stopped giving my best hours to distractions and my leftovers to purpose, everything shifted. Not overnight, but decisively. Alignment does not rush, it stabilizes, and stability attracts provision. Chosen one. Understand this clearly. Divine wealth is not chaotic. It flows through order. When your inner world is scattered, increase feels heavy. But when your inner world is aligned, increase feels natural. This is why God refines you before He expands you. He strengthens your boundaries before He widens your influence. He deepens your discernment before He multiplies your resources. There is also something else you must release in this season, and that is guilt. Guilt for wanting more, guilt for outgrowing people, guilt for choosing yourself after years of choosing everyone else. That guilt does not come from God. It comes from old conditioning, from survival seasons where asking for more felt dangerous. But, chosen one, you are no longer in survival. You are in stewardship. You are allowed to build. You are allowed to receive. You are allowed to prosper without apology. Wealth in the hands of the aligned does not corrupt. It restores. It funds healing. It creates options. It gives you the capacity to serve without burning out. And when you finally accept that your relationship with abundance changes. Now hear this carefully. The season you are entering will require discernment at a higher level. Not everything that looks like opportunity will be aligned. Not every open door is meant to be walked through. Increase attracts options, and options require wisdom. This is why stillness must remain part of your life. You cannot afford to rush decisions now. You cannot afford to say yes out of fear of missing out. Chosen one, trust your inner knowing. That quiet sense of peace or hesitation is not imagination. It is guidance. The same God who revealed where your wealth is hidden will also guide you in how to access it. But He will not shout over your distractions. He will wait until you listen. This is also the season to simplify. Complexity drains power. Clarity multiplies it. Ask yourself what truly matters now. What deserves your energy? What aligns with the person you are becoming? Let go of what no longer fits, even if it once did. Release roles that no longer serve your growth. You are not obligated to remain who you were just because others are comfortable with that version. Chosen one, you are stepping into a phase where your life becomes more intentional, your choices more precise, your movements more aligned. And as that happens, you will notice something shift. Less struggle, fewer unnecessary battles, more flow, more confirmation, not because life becomes easy, but because you are finally moving in rhythm with purpose. Let this be the season where you honor what God has revealed, where you stop doubting what you carry, where you stop postponing obedience, where you step forward with quiet confidence, not needing validation, not needing permission, just alignment. Because wealth, true wealth, is already responding to who you are becoming. Chosen one, there is one more layer you must understand if you are going to walk fully into what has been prepared for you. It is the layer of trust. Not trust in circumstances, not trust in people, trust in divine timing. Many delays you questioned were not denials. They were calibrations. God was aligning the weight of the blessing with the strength of your spirit. I know how frustrating it feels to be ready internally while the outer world seems slow. I have wrestled with that tension myself. But I learned this truth the hard way. Receiving too early can be more damaging than waiting longer. Chosen one timing is mercy. When heaven delays, it is often because something still needs to mature. Not the opportunity, but you, your discernment, your boundaries, your identity. Wealth magnifies what already exists. If insecurity is present, it will grow louder. If clarity is present, it will grow stronger. That is why God refines before He releases. He is not withholding from you. He is protecting you. There were moments in my own journey when I thought I was being overlooked. I watched others move faster, rise quicker, receive sooner. What I didn't see then was what I see now. Speed is not favor. Sustainability is. What lasts is built slowly, intentionally with wisdom. And wisdom is forged in seasons where nothing seems to be happening outwardly, but everything is shifting inwardly. Chosen one. Your inner world has been under construction. Your reactions are different now. Your standards are higher. Your tolerance for chaos is lower. That is not coincidence. That is preparation. God does not expand lives that cannot contain what they receive. He expands capacity first, and capacity is built through pressure, patience, and persistence. Now, understand this clearly. The season ahead will require you to move with restraint, not hesitation, but discernment. You will be tempted to rush once momentum starts, to say yes to everything, to prove yourself. Resist that urge. You no longer need to prove anything. Alignment speaks for itself. When something is truly ordained, it does not require force. It flows. Chosen one, there is power in saying no now. No to distractions. No to misaligned relationships. No to opportunities that look impressive but feel heavy. Peace is your compass. If it costs you your peace, it costs too much. This is not fear speaking. This is wisdom. The same wisdom that will keep what you receive from slipping through your fingers. You're also entering a season where your voice matters more. What you say carries weight. Words create direction. Speak intentionally. Not everything needs to be shared. Not everyone needs access. Privacy is not hiding, it is protection. Guard what is growing. Seeds sprout underground for a reason. Exposure too early can damage growth. Chosen one, your next level will feel quieter, not louder. More focused, not scattered. You will find yourself drawn to simplicity, to depth, to quality over quantity. This is not isolation returning. This is alignment stabilizing. When things are right internally, life becomes less dramatic and more effective. You may notice that fewer people understand you now. That is normal. Expansion creates distance. Not because you are better, but because you are different. You see differently. You choose differently. And that difference is what will allow you to steward what is coming. Do not apologize for it. Do not explain it away. Those who are meant to walk with you will adjust. Those who are not will fall away naturally. Chosen one. What is approaching your life is not random wealth. It is purposeful increase. Increase that carries responsibility, influence, reach, impact. And because of that, heaven has been careful with you, precise with your training, intentional with your delays. Nothing was wasted, not the waiting, not the confusion, not the quiet. Now is the time to walk forward with calm confidence, not rushing, not forcing, simply aligned. You have been prepared for this, more than you realize. And as you continue to move in obedience, you will notice doors opening without strain, connections forming without manipulation, provision flowing without anxiety. This is what divine transfer looks like. Not chaos, not spectacle, but clarity, stability, peace, and steady increase. Stay present, stay grounded, stay listening. Because what has been hidden is no longer hidden. And what has been prepared is now responding to your alignment. Chosen one. There is one final posture your spirit must adopt as you step fully into this season, and that posture is surrender without fear. Not surrender as weakness, but surrender as trust. You have spent years learning how to survive, how to stay alert, how to protect yourself. Those skills kept you alive, but now God is teaching you how to receive. And receiving requires a different kind of strength. Many people can fight for a breakthrough, but few know how to rest inside one. I had to learn this myself. When things finally began to open, my instinct was to grip tighter, control more, anticipate loss. But what I discovered is this abundance cannot flow where fear still governs. Fear tightens, trust opens. And what you are stepping into now requires openness. Chosen one, you are allowed to exhale. You are allowed to stop bracing for impact. Not because life will never challenge you again, but because you no longer need to live in anticipation of collapse. God has proven his faithfulness in your worst seasons. Why would he abandon you in your best? That question changed how I approached everything. This is the season where faith becomes embodied, not just believed. You trust God, not only with outcomes, but with pace, with process, with people. You stop rushing answers and start listening for instruction. You stop forcing results and start aligning actions. And in that shift, something beautiful happens. Anxiety loosens its grip. Peace settles in your body. Your decisions become clearer. Chosen one's surrender does not mean passivity. It means cooperation. You still move, but you move from clarity instead of pressure. You act from conviction, not comparison. You no longer measure your progress against others because you finally understand your path is custom built. What is meant for you will not miss you. What is not meant for you cannot be forced. You may notice that your desires are changing. What once excited you may no longer hold your attention. What once felt important may now feel empty. That is not loss. That is refinement. God is aligning your desires with your assignment. When desire and purpose agree, effort feels lighter and impact increases. Chosen one, this is also the season to forgive yourself for the delays, the missteps, the moments you hesitated. Carrying self-blame will only slow what is now ready to move. You did the best you could with the awareness you had, and awareness has now expanded. Grace applies forward, not backward. Release what no longer serves you. As you move ahead, you will feel a steady confidence replacing urgency. You will know when to act and when to wait. You will recognize alignment without needing constant reassurance. This is spiritual maturity, and maturity attracts trust. Trust from people, trust from opportunities, trust from heaven. Understand this, chosen one. You are not chasing wealth anymore. Wealth is responding to alignment. You are not striving for recognition. Recognition comes naturally when purpose is clear. You are not proving your worth. Your worth is established. Now walk gently but firmly. Stay grounded. Stay listening. Stay obedient to what you know, not what you fear. The season ahead will reward consistency more than intensity, presence more than performance, and faithfulness more than flash. You are not stepping into chaos. You are stepping into order, an order that was prepared long before you were ready to see it. And now that you see, the path will continue to unfold, one aligned step at a time. Chosen one. This is where everything you have heard must come together, not as information, but as embodiment. Revelation without embodiment fades, but revelation that is lived becomes inheritance. You are not here to be inspired for a moment. You are here to be transformed for a lifetime. And this final understanding is what separates those who hear from those who receive. What is opening in your life now is not simply an increase of resources. It is an expansion of authority. Authority over your time. Authority over your choices. Authority over where your energy flows. For a long time, life felt like something that happened to you. Seasons came and went without explanation, doors closed without warning. But that phase was preparation. You were learning obedience without clarity, faith without evidence, strength without applause, and that kind of training produces a person heaven can trust. Chosen one. The wealth you are stepping into is not just what you possess, but how you steward what you possess. Stewardship is not control, it is alignment. It is knowing when to move and when to wait, when to speak and when to remain silent, when to give and when to preserve. Many people lose what they receive because they never learned how to carry it. You have been learning how to carry weight. You will notice that your decisions now require more intention. What once felt simple now demands discernment. This is not because things are harder, but because they are more meaningful. Every choice shapes trajectory. Every agreement carries consequence. This awareness is not meant to intimidate you. It is meant to ground you. You are becoming someone whose presence changes environments not by force, but by alignment. Chosen one. You are also entering a season where your inner life matters more than your outer image. The temptation to perform will arise, but resist it. Performance drains, presence sustains. When you remain rooted, you remain clear, and clarity protects what is growing. This is why you no longer feel drawn to chaos, drama, or urgency. Your spirit recognizes that peace is not laziness. It is power under control. You may find that your circle continues to narrow. Not because you are withdrawing, but because you are refining. Depth requires space. Focus requires boundaries. And boundaries create room for growth. Do not fear the quiet around you. That quiet is fertile. It is where strategy forms, where discernment sharpens, where alignment stabilizes. Chosen one, remember this always. God does not rush what he values. What is unfolding in your life has been measured, timed, and prepared. Every delay you resented protected you from receiving what you were not yet ready to hold. Every closed door preserved your integrity. Every season of confusion refined your listening. Nothing was wasted. As you move forward, let gratitude become your foundation. Gratitude grounds you in the present while honoring the past. It keeps your heart soft while your boundaries stay firm. Gratitude reminds you that everything you carry was entrusted, not earned alone. And from that place, generosity flows naturally, not compulsively. This is also the season to trust simplicity. You do not need to complicate your path. Follow what is clear. Honor what is consistent. Return to what brings peace and fruit. Complexity often disguises avoidance. Clarity invites movement. When something is aligned, it feels steady, not dramatic. Learn to recognize that signal. Chosen one. Your life is no longer about becoming someone else. It is about fully occupying who you already are. When you stop outsourcing your worth, your power returns. When you stop seeking permission, your confidence stabilizes. When you stop explaining your evolution, your authority strengthens. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not missing anything meant for you. What belongs to you is responding to who you are becoming. And who you are becoming is aligned with purpose, not pressure. So move forward gently, intentionally, faithfully. Let your actions reflect what your spirit already knows. Let your pace honor your peace. Let your choices reflect your values. You are not waiting for life to begin. You are already inside it. This is not the end of a message. It is the beginning of embodiment. And as you live what you now see, transfer becomes natural, not forced. Settle into what has already been set in motion. This was not information meant to pass through you. This was revelation meant to activate you. A divine transfer is already unfolding quietly and precisely because you have arrived at your kairos moment, the exact intersection of readiness and heaven's timing. Anointed One, hear this with clarity and peace. Nothing you have seen today was accidental. What was hidden has now been revealed, and what has been revealed now carries responsibility. Not pressure, but stewardship. Heaven has already confirmed what your spirit has known. You are aligned, you are prepared, and you are trusted with more. I speak blessing over your discernment, that you would move with wisdom and restraint. I speak blessing over your hands, that everything you touch from this point forward would carry purpose and increase. I speak blessing over your mind, that confusion dissolves and clarity remains. And I speak blessing over your path, that doors open without force and provision meets you without strain. Remain faithful, chosen one. Stay aligned with the flow of the anointing. Do not rush what God is unfolding, and do not shrink from what He is entrusting to you. Walk forward with gratitude, not anxiety. Expectation, not fear. What is coming will meet you at the pace of obedience. If your spirit bears witness to this word, seal it in reverence. You may quietly type 111 as an act of alignment, or share this message with someone whose spirit is also ready. And if you feel led, remain connected, because this awakening is not ending, it is deepening. Chosen one, you are wealthy, you are worthy, and you are walking into everything heaven prepared for you. Go in peace.